All right, this is a review of the last practice that that some of you might have missed, but if you didn't miss it, it doesn't make a difference. This kind of wraps up what I told you we would wrap up. And just to kind of re-review where we were leaving this, I told everybody at the very, very first practice back in September that the key to this whole offense was doing whatever it is possible to get the ball to the rim. And the first thing I told the kids was, or you guys, whoever's listening, was the easiest way to get the ball to the rim is just dribble it there. And I told everybody just to kind of hold off on that notion for a little while. And we spent the majority of the first couple of months or whatever talking about other ways of getting to the rim instead of just dribbling it there. Either passing and cutting, or dribbling at someone to make them cut, or to, pass the ball into the post and have that player make a Laker cut. And I said I would get back to what to do if someone just wants to dribble it there, because it's not just so easy to have the guy dribble it there, because there are defensive players that, they get paid too. So the idea is that we have to make sure that everybody else on the court knows where to go if someone does intend to dribble it there. And that's why we started talking in the last couple of practices about, where these guys are supposed to go if somebody dribbles to the basket. This whole idea of circle movement, where if somebody penetrates to the basket, everybody circles one spot to that direction. So if this guy goes to the right, everybody circles one spot to the right. And what it does, it gives this guy different outlets of what he can do if, the defense isn't so accommodating and doesn't let him get to the rim. And the first thing we talked about is just basically your natural pitch. Like if, there's always a spot for him. And likewise, if he's not open, then he has a safety valve where he could pass it back to that guy. And this is how like the safety valve looks. If he wants to penetrate, he could, kick it back that way. This is actually a better example of that. You kick it back, and there you go. And that's where we kind of left it. And I said I would kind of clean this up at the next practice, and that's what we did in this last practice. I mean, the first thing that we did was talk about, well, what are these post guys are supposed to do? Like, if the one decides that he wants to, take the ball right to the rim, we want to make sure that the post players know to get out of his way. And so we talked about these kind of short corner areas and these high post areas as being key kind of places to go. The idea being that if somebody dribbles at the basket from the top, then the post guys are supposed to slide to the short corner. Where if someone goes to the basket from below the post is supposed to slide to the high post. And we kind of drilled that today. From the top, it just kind of looks like that. And from the bottom, if he penetrates to the right of him, the post is going to slide this way. Okay. Both giving himself an opportunity to get a pass for a good shot and clearing space for the guy to drive. Now, the only thing we had to clean up here is what happens if somebody's got the ball in the corner and he decides to dribble baseline. See, normally, according to our general rules, when someone penetrates to the right, he dribbles right, everybody's supposed to rotate one spot to the right. So if you can imagine this number 5 guy dribbling it to the baseline, technically the 3's supposed to fill his spot, 1's supposed to fill 3's spot, 2's supposed to fill up here, and the 4 is supposed to come out here if he's going to follow the rules. But the problem is that if the 5 can't get to the basket, if he faces all kinds of help defense, he's got no guy to pass it to here. If the 4 is rotating out, it makes it very difficult. So there's a kind of a special situation for baseline drives where the opposing corner actually does not rotate out. He actually stays in that corner. So kind of did a fun drill where we showed how that worked. And this is just basically the way it looks. Just gives him an opportunity to find someone to pass it to. So what that basically did is kind of lay the entire foundation of this offense. Now again, as I mentioned in the review before the break, I mean, there's really 25 layers to this offense. But if I could get these kids to, or you kids, whoever's listening, to get these first 6 layers down cold, and that could take quite a while. I mean, I don't even expect you guys to have these 6 layers down cold by the end of the year. Not even close. But if you can get some of it and build some of it into habits, I mean, you're well on your way to being, really good instinctive team basketball player. I mean, you develop these things into real instincts that, you'll be able to play basketball for really a long time. At really any level, because you'll always be in the right place, and allows you to play a really good system for me, giving a lot of assists and not relying on set plays and letting everybody play different positions, and it really is kind of a lot of fun to play this style of offense. So yeah, that's pretty much wrapping up this foundation of this offense that we've laid over the past 3, 4 months, and now it's just a lifelong quest to tighten it up. I mean, now we gotta, we've come a long way in trying to teach the kids what to do. Now how to do it, and really the refining the techniques is, you know, it's a fantastic challenge. So we're gonna keep at it.